We're about 40 miles south of Candlestick Point as we welcome you inside Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Green Bay Packers and the San Francisco 49ers. Here we go. The final week of the NFL season. Week 17 is underway. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Set. 19. Here we go. Let's bring it. Alert. Alert. Kill. Switch.
A first carry for Leonard Fournette. And an early how do you do right there as they're going to bury him in the backfield. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
On second down, here's Fournette. They get 9 yards back on the run there, and they're left with a much more makeable 3rd and 2.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
He's got daylight. 30. 10. Touchdown. 49ers. Matt Breida with touchdown number 7 on the year as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. You talk about explosion plays. There's one pretty much right out of the gate.
And now they get to ride a wave of emotion, momentum, everything. Just as you described, right out of the gate, big sprint, touchdown. They're excited. But on the other side, they've got to guard against a major letdown because they hit them right in the gut with that one. And now you start to question yourself a little bit when you give up a touchdown on the opening drive.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes the score 7-0. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. So first and 10 now from the 30. Now the Auburn product, Corey Grant. And he'll have a gain of 3 to the 33.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's second and 7.
Go, go, go.
They will run with Grant. And some room to maneuver. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. That one good for 26 and a first down. We often poke a little fun at running backs past the age of 30. Oh, they're getting old, they can't run anymore. Well, he's showing past the age of 30, you can still have some nice runs like that.
You certainly can, and I think that we're starting to expand our definition of old running back. Because it used to be as soon as they hit 30, you want to get rid of these guys and go to the younger guys. But now that the guys are taking such great care of themselves, as you pointed out, you can still get explosive runs at any age.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Here now is second and 10, again from the 41. This is Grant. They'll fight forward for a couple down inside the 40.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
First down marker at the 31. It's third down. From the gun, Schaefer. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Earl Thomas. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line. So cancel the interception, pass interference.
And you know what else gets canceled? The return yardage. Makes the play, but now it's all for naught.
Ready? 70, Indy. 54. You can't block me. You can't block me.
On first and 10, Schaefer eluding, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes, and just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
And this is caught inside the 5. Give them 32 on the play.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big gain. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Green Bay touchdown. Corey Grant with touchdown number 8 on the year, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Extra point right down the middle, and we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Even though they might not find the number 1 seed next to their name come playoff time, there's not going to be very many teams, if any, entering the playoffs on the kind of run they're on. They're hot.
And I love that word, hot, because every team in the league wants to go into the playoffs on that uptick. Because a lot of the time you serve notice to the rest of the league that, hey, we're the team you need to deal with. We're the team that's going to be a real problem for you. And if they can continue this streak, they could very well be that team and gain that confidence that they're seeking as they head to the playoffs.
And confidence, that's the word I would use from our meetings with them. They said we're playing our best football right now. It is showing.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Check safety, check safety.
Throwing on third down, Watson. Man open, that's Kiki QT, complete. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. And that gain of 9 buys them a new set of downs. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. On first down, here's Breida. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. Throwing on 2nd and 3. Watson, he'll get this into the hands of Breida. No yardage to speak of whatsoever. Leads to a 3rd down.
And that's when it's fun to play defense. When you're able to diagnose a play right from the beginning, get all your guys to the football, and spill the play, that's when you have a lot of fun playing on that side of the ball.
They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. They'll try and run for it with Fournette. And he's into the clear. Touchdown, 49ers. Leonard Fournette, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the 49ers have now taken the lead. Seeing some pretty good offense here in this first quarter.
It's been a wild start to this quarter, as you noted. And now with that lead that we're seeing, can they retaliate? I get the sense this one's going to go back and forth all game long.
And that probably won't be the last long touchdown that we see in this one. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. So, Charles, the season winding down, the playoffs obviously not in their future. As they look ahead to the offseason, what spots do they maybe need to fill?
Well, I think that they like the guy who's calling the plays and throwing the ball. I think that he's a pretty good player. Needs some help, I think, on the perimeter, though. Help him out with receivers, because I think if he gets an upgrade there, his play gets that much better, too.
On 2nd down, it's Grant. Room here to run. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Corey Grant with his 2nd touchdown of this opening quarter, as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. No problem there on the extra point, and we are tied at 14. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
Begin. He's checking. Crash.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. A minimal gain as we tick down inside of a minute remaining in the opening quarter. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Off of play action, it's Watson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
So this has been a lot like a tennis match, hasn't it? Back and forth. Both of these offenses having their way so far. So maybe the question isn't who's going to score the most points in this game. Maybe it's who's going to get some stops.
Yeah, absolutely. And that sack, finally a first step in the right direction for a stop. 3rd and long. It's Watson. He's going to let this one go deep. He's got him in. Complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Only a yard on the keeper, and it'll be 2nd down.
Taken down at the 43-yard line. That's the
Pretty entertaining start. 14-all the score on EA Sports. Now Leonard Fournette, and he's going to get hit at the line of scrimmage and driven backwards. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8.
You got it.
It's now 3rd and 8.
Double up. He's coming, double up. Check 52. 61. Match box. Right. 59.
On 3rd down, Watson, incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. This will be spotted just shy of midfield, a 59-yard attempt. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And they take a 17-14 lead. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And we have seen a lot on the scoreboard here in this quarter. So sometimes you talk to me about tendency breakers on offense. These defenses struggling. Are there tendency breakers on defense?
All defensive coordinators keep something in their hip pocket for these types of situations.
And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Corey Grant on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And once again, the Packers, they're back out in front. A try here for the extra point. It's up and good to make it 21-17.
Makes the score Packers 21, 49ers 17. Sam Martin set to kick off.
So after the touchdown, Martin now on to kick this one away. This will be fielded at the 8. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
At their own 26-yard line.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Faking the give, now Watson. The first catch of the game for George Kittle. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. First down, San Francisco, the pickup, 14 yards. So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Now Watson. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
He kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
On 2nd down, a run with Breida. And some room to work. 20, 10, touchdown, 49ers. Matt Breida with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And the 49ers have retaken the lead. These two teams in this first half, it's been fun. Back and forth, back and forth. Well, it's not fun for the defensive coordinators, but offensive coordinators are enjoying it.
Yeah, they're having streaks here, aren't they? Being able to put scores together and really bunch them up, and we have a tight game here. You know, we often talk about having the right shoes for the right turf. Today it's track shoes. That's what we've seen with these offenses.
Yeah, it's been an absolute track meet so far, and fun to watch. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Here's Grant. And he's going to be brought down short of the first at about the 31-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup there, but it's going to take him to 4th down. On now is the Packers punter as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. Nifty move. Able to power through. He won't go down. That'll go as a 42-yard punt, and they'll be aided by a loss of yardage on the return. And the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And it's a unit last drive that did it all on the ground, Charles.
And they controlled it from the interior. Big on big, right? Offensive lineman versus defensive lineman. But, you know, in order to keep the football moving downfield, other people have to get involved as well. Your wide receivers, your tight ends, lead runners, anything that you have possible to get in front and keep the ball moving.
And now the defense may be looking out for a pass coming up. Adrian Amos up to make the tackle.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. Well, earlier this half, you were wondering how they were going to defend him. I think you used the term bottle him up at different levels. They've struggled to do that.
They certainly have, because when you see them approach, in order to bottle them up at different levels, that front line's got to take care of business. Otherwise, he starts to sift through.
54 is Mike. 54 is Mike. Check, check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Watch the screen. Watch the screen.
Hey, one set, one set. Check Mike 54. Mike 54. Hey, they're scared.
Alert, alert.
Watson just beating the play clock. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
This is taken at the 15. 12 yards on the return that time. And it'll be Packer football here. First down and 10.
They're on 26-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. We have been treated to great offense on both sides. The defense is on the other end of the spectrum. They're just searching for answers right now, aren't they?
And for most defenses, it's a very uncomfortable and in a lot of ways unfamiliar spot because points are going to be scored. But the way we're seeing them today, it's almost like there's no resistance. They've got to figure out how to slow these offenses down. Maybe someone on either side can make a big play and start to wreck and disrupt the timing that we're seeing.
As we get closer to halftime here.
And it's third down.
Here we go. 8, read. Let's go, team. Let's go.
To throw on third down, Schaefer. That's complete to his running back, Grant. And the broken tackle helps lead to a first down gain. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. So from the 36 now, first and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that'll make it second and 12. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on third down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means he'll need to come up with something here on third down. Looking to throw. Schaefer. He's got his man, Valdez-Scantling. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Marquez Valdez-Scantling, his 5th touchdown now on the year, as his guys are able to regain the lead. Extra point up and through, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. This will be fielded at the 8. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops, and if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
On first down, Watson. Open man is QT, complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A good pickup there at 22.
First and 10 at the 39-yard line.
So again from the 39, this time from the other side of the field. Here's first and 10. Now we'll play fake, and it's Watson. This one taken in by the former Baylor Bear, Jalen Hurd. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. He connected on his first, this from 41. And his kick is good. And that will do it for this first half. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17, as we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports halftime report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line.
At their own 29-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Flushed out right. He'll get this complete to the Notre Dame man, Equinemius St. Brown. Give him 18 on that play, and Green Bay has the first as well. They'll run on first down. Grant. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They'll run with a backup. This is Williams. He's got a first down and more inside the 30. 38 yards on the scamper there.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
10-2 stop. Hey. Snap.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Now from the 9, here's 2nd and goal. They go back to Grant. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, and they're going to need to come up with something better here on 3rd and goal. So 3rd and goal, and the 49er faithful making some noise for their defense. Operating from the gun, Schaefer to the end zone, but it's incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And the 11-year veteran bangs it through, and the drive will wind up yielding 3. Well, looking at it from a defensive perspective, that keeps the deficit very, very manageable. You know, all things considered, not a bad job on the defensive side.
I would say that you've pointed out something pretty good right there, and that is you actually have both sides happy with that exchange. You know, happy in quotes, of course. One team, hey, we've kept it within range. The other side saying, hey, we put points on the board and did stretch out the lead. Let's see how this one turns out.
Yeah, still bottom line, though. 3 points for the opening drive of the third quarter. Now Fournette. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, he always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
Well, partner, I guess sometimes it's just a matter of philosophy. Some say run it until they absolutely stop you, and others say, well, when you think they're about to stop you, fool them a little bit. I guess they should have tried to fool them on that play.
And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Last play they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards.
First and 10 at the 43-yard line.
So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 43.
Win championships, baby. Shit. Hey, 59. Shit.
They'll toss it to Fournette. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
What is that? 19. March by 4. In your face.
Now on 2nd and 13. Watson flush to his right. He rifles one that's intercepted. Adrian Amos with a pick, and his guys will take over at the 30-yard line.
I think that interception happened for 2 reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit, and receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. So there's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open.
Got to know that you're open. Otherwise, just don't do it.
On 1st down. It's Grant. He takes this from the 30 to the 34.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
2nd and 6 at the 34-yard line.
Let's go.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. They'll keep it on the ground. Grant. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead them to 3rd down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Back to throw. Schaefer looking deep for Adams. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete.
Partner, the way this offense has marched up and down the field during this game, it's almost a surprise to see an incomplete pass on 3rd down, isn't it?
Yeah, they have had their foot on the gas all game long, but here finally stalling out.
The Niners take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Here's Watson. That'll be complete to Breida. They find some open field here. And all the way down to the 37. A big play there on the catch and run. 47 yards. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. On the run, it's Fournette. And he is going to lose yardage here. The defense showing some anger after giving up the big play. This time they'll lose 1 or 2. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. On 2nd and 11 now. Watson. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll rumble for about 5, up close to the 40. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Now a throw left sideline here is complete. And he'll go out of bounds. It appears right at the 45. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. They'll run on first down. It's Grant, and he'll only get a yard, maybe 2, up to the 46. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
They'll keep it on the ground. Grant. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key third down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key third down. Highlight that word. Put it in bold. Here we go. Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them, because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline. Let's go old school there. That's absolutely a great coffin corner punt. Someone's put some time in working on that, hasn't it?
Seems like every year these guys get better and better. It's amazing how they can command that football through the air.
Yeah, they used to actually practice with hula hoops where they place them and try and put them there. Now a lot of guys use barrels on the sidelines to try and put the football in one.
They begin with a run by Fournette. And he's got some space here. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
89. It's a safety creek. 81. Check.
Out of the shotgun, Breida. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on 2nd down. A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Everything about that play tells you about today's NFL offenses and what they're asking out of running backs. You can't just be a guy who can run the football. You have to be able to catch it as well, and he didn't get that done on that play.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. The crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down.
We got double up. At 24.
50's the mic. 50's the mic.
You gonna get this boy?
Out of the gun, Watson. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
Trying to erase that deficit all at once. One big shot. He took it. Unfortunately for him, incomplete.
And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. Yeah, that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. but you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first down. And the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
This a big play for both sides. What will we see here? 3rd and 4.
Go! 56 to Mike, boy. 56. Check 56.
I know he ain't got it.
Check. Yes. Get it.
They'll keep it on the ground. Grant, and he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. They get the first. The decision to run on 3rd and medium winds up being a good one.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. And this defense here going to burn their 2nd timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning. On 2nd down now. It's Grant. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of 1, and they'll be facing a 3rd and 12. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. They're facing a critical 3rd down now as they try to hold on to this lead.
Check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Go. Bravo. 5.
From the gun, Schaefer. Brought in over the middle by Grant. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. A very solid gain of 27.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
Turn 2 stop.
Hey, watch that. Hey, watch the ball.
On 1st down, Grant. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. The Packers looking to get out of here with a win as they take the knee.
Let's go.
If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up second down. They'll try the left side. It's Grant. A gain of 8 there on the 8th play of the drive. And now the Niners going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in the game. 9th play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long. They will take the knee here, and they will finish this regular season with a victory. And that knee will do it. So they snap the losing streak. Always a good feeling.
Yeah, I don't know if this one right here when they're taking a knee is as much exultation as exhalation, right? They just breathe a sigh of relief. Finally got a win, needed one desperately.
So it's all over. A Green Bay victory, and it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second-half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for Green Bay, they do finish things out with a victory here in the final.